So for this next lesson, we're going to be transitioning onto mass. Now we have talked about mass a little bit, but this is going to go much more in depth. So similar to last time, I want you guys to try and just guess or determine which one of the two is greater. So 1 pound or 100 grams, 1 kilogram or 1 pound, 1 ounce or 100 milligrams. Again, just give it your best guess. All right, so 1 pound is significantly bigger than 100 grams, so it's about 450 grams per pound. Also, 1 kilogram is a little over double a pound. It's like 2.2 pounds. Right, so if you look down the bottom, if somebody weighs 220 pounds, they weigh 100 kilograms. The last one, an ounce is larger by a fair amount. So if you look down below, 1 ounce of gold is 28,349 milligrams. Remember, there are 16 ounces in the pound, so that can give you kind of another way to look at it. All right, so mass refers to the amount of matter in an object. We'll talk about the idea of matter a little later, but ultimately matter is just the stuff, everything that makes up something. So whereas length, the base unit was meter, now our base unit is kilogram. And so again, you can read how they came up with this is very scientifically based. Similar to length. So our big metric units, right? We have kilograms to grams and grams to milligrams. Really in this class, that's all that we're going to be focusing on. So a kilogram is 1,000 grams, again dealing with much simpler numbers than it's much easier to remember than the standard unit that we use here in the U.S. And 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. So notice the units. A kilogram is km, gram is just g, which we should have been using on a lot of graphs so far, then milligram is mg. So down below, I'd like you to do a little math and figure out which one is larger for each one of these. 1 kilogram, 1,500 grams, 1,200 milligrams or 1 gram, 12 milligrams or 12 kilograms, or 4 kilograms and 400 or 4,500 grams. So take a second and circle those. All right, let's look at these. So, as you know from above, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, so 1,500 grams would be larger. 1,200 grams, or 1,200 milligrams is larger than 1 gram, because 1 gram is only 1,000 milligrams. 12 kilograms is significantly larger than 12 milligrams. It would be many milligrams to get to 12 kilograms. And then 4,500 grams will equal to 4.5 kilograms. That one's larger. Now, in this class, we are going to be using the electronic scales, but we'll also be using triple beam balances. And so you may have seen and used these before, maybe not. Okay, so if you look on the left-hand side, put whatever you're measuring, move the little weights until you're able to get the exact weight. Sometimes wrestlers, when they're doing weigh-ins, any sport that you need to weigh in, will use the. So, you look at this scale on the bottom and tell me what you think this mass is, right? So we're adding all 3 of the weights up, and you can see there are little arrows where the mass is. So go ahead, try and add the 3 of those up. and get to a number. So hopefully you got to somewhere around 373.3. That's what you should have gotten to, or at least somewhere pretty close to that. So when we're using a triple beam balance, there are some specific steps we're hoping to follow. So you're going to place your whatever, sometimes we'll put it in something else. And then you're going to slide the largest weight. So always start with the biggest weight, and then move until it starts to get fairly close. So you can move it until it drops down and move back a peg. Now there are different kind of grooves. Make sure you're fully into the groove when you're moving along. And then you do the same thing with the top weight. Move it until you get close, and maybe drop it back one if it goes too far down. And then you'll end with the smallest one. Now if you look on all the way to the right, your kind of arm will be swinging. You want that line to line up with the center. So when it's perfectly balanced, when it's not resting on top or the bottom, really that's your weight. And so to finalize it, right, what you just did, you just add up all the amounts. The biggest one, the second biggest one, and the smallest to get your total mass of your object.